think we are in Marrakech, Morocco.
Marrakech, Morocco.
And we just got here very early this morning.
Yeah, like it's noon now. We landed at 6 a.m. So.
And we luckily they let us into our riad. We got a little bit of light sleep.
Horizontal time and then breakfast and a shower.
Yes. And
so
we're seeing everything we can in a short period of time, but we have to try to find our way back to the riad.
Yeah.
So that we can meet up with an actual tour guide.
A city tour at 2:30. So
we are at the Palace Basid? Bahid. Palace Bahid. Anyway, it is stunning. So we arrived at about 6 o'clock local time, and as soon as we got off the plane and tried to get out, we ran into the cash exchange place, and we got about $700 immediately because we knew we needed to give the driver a tip, and the exchange rate may not be the best, but it's good to have cash going in. This is a small bill based economy. You need a lot of 50s and 20s. Not so many 100 and 200 dirham notes, but you'll get those too. But get as much small change as you can right from the start. There'll be a lot of tips and things like that. So we met our driver, and he took us to our riad in the old Medina, and it was dark, and we were glad to have him because he walked us through these small alleys and all these little doors that are beautiful but not necessarily well marked. And we woke up our attendant at the riad Mirkush, and he let us come in, get into our room a little bit early. We got a couple hours of sleep and a shower, and then a delightful breakfast with spiced Moroccan coffee, and it was wonderful, and we got spoiled right from the start. But the riad is just stunning when you go through these little doors and you walk inside, and it is just an elaborate atrium, and it was just so nice.
Going into our room, Dave?
I am going into our room.
Where are we?
We are in Marrakech. We are at the Riad
Marrakech. Marrakech. You got it.
And it is beautiful.
And this is our room on the
second floor.
And the atrium is open, and then there's that beautiful tile that I'm going home with.
Our little room in the first riad. One of the many cool lights we have seen. Tour of our pretty neat, beautifully tiled bathroom. So we immediately went out and toured on our own. We've got a tour in the afternoon, but we wanted to see as much as we could. So we went to the Sadian tombs, and these were recently discovered, and we were just blown away right from the start by this amazing tile work and this plaster and these carved ceilings. It's just stunning. So we enjoyed walking around them, and then we ended up at the Bahai Palace, and we got to explore the labyrinths down in here. It was just neat. This is the oldest palace that we went to, so it's a little bit on the rougher side. It's just old, but stunning. If we had to drop a place because of time, though, this is the one we would drop, just because it's pretty, but it's not as pretty as the next place we would go, which is the El Badi Palace. Again, we're just blown away by the tile work. This place is built in the late 1800s or so, and words fail me. The painted ceilings, the carved plaster, the ornate tile, the beautiful marble floors, and there's a sequence to it. The floors are always marble, the lower part is tile, then you get into the carved molded plaster, and then you go up to the carved painted ceilings. It's just wonderful. But we do have to find our way back. We did a combination of Google Maps and a paper map, and we did pretty good. We met Saeed, our tour guide for the day, and he gave us a nice little overview on Islam and Arabic culture, and he was just pretty fascinating. Took us lots of places. One of the places he took us was one of his friend's spice shops, and you'll discover that everybody's trying to help their friends or help people they have relationships with to get a few more sales. So you get used to this, and you have to learn that the important words in this country and this city is no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thanks. There will be a lot of pressure to buy as you go through the souks, and you'll deal with the vendors there. They will want to bring you in, stop you, and try to make a sale. This is how they make their living, and we don't begrudge that. But you do have to learn to say no thank you a lot. But we did enjoy going through the souks, and at the end of our tour, Sahid brought us to the large square, and that's where they have vendors and dancers and singers and snake charmers. And we had a wonderful meal at a restaurant overlooking the square. We had our first tangine and tangia, which is a Marrakech specific meal. And so we looked out over the plaza as the sun went down, and then we got to wander around there for a little while, enjoyed the music, enjoyed the dancers, didn't see any snake charmers. We found out later that they tend to be there more in the daytime and during the warmer seasons. So the next day we get up and we went to a hammam, which is a traditional wash and spa and massage, and it was just amazing, but there's no video because they don't allow that. After the hammam, we wandered around the city and explored the souks some more, and we almost bought a rug, although we did not need a rug.
Negotiate!
Yes.
Come on! No, I will take! Come on! It's like this!
I know.
What's your serious offer now?
It was a really interesting sales pitch, and Melinda was strong and didn't buy anything, but I was very tempted to buy a rug. And then we had another delightful meal overlooking the area right beside the rug place, and we were really tired, so we called it an early night, and we will head out on the road tomorrow. Where are we going tomorrow?
We head to Ouarzazate.
Yes. Are we doing the mountains pass tomorrow?
We're doing the
Atlas Mountains, right?
Chitchneen Pass.
And what's our first impressions of Morocco and Marrakech?
People are very helpful, very nice.
Yes.
So we got lost tonight.
Yeah, we
which
did.
which was adventure awaits.
And we were outside the wall, which was, let's just say, frantic and hectic out there. I won't say that it was ever scary. Nobody was. It was just a lot of commotion going on,
and they are doing what they need to do, and we were just trying to plow.
And it was definitely not a tourist area.
Definitely not a tourist area. I mean, it is
So.
a really tall, blonde American area.
But again, nobody treated us badly or anything like that. Never felt threatened or anything.
Never
We just
felt
wanted to
threatened.
we were lost. We wanted to find where we needed to go before it got dark. So.
But you know what? We got lost and we got out of it, and it was a great adventure.
And
Yeah.
tomorrow we hit the Atlas Mountains, so we'll see you then. So the next morning we got up, and a driver took us back to the city to get our rental car, and we took a lot of photos of that so that we had documentation in case anything happened. And we went to 3 banks trying to get change for our larger dirham notes, and 2 of the banks couldn't help us at all. They said they had no change. The 3rd bank gave us a lot of 20s and 50s, which again, you really need that out in the smaller towns, especially because if you need to buy something, they will not have change. They do not take credit cards. So we got as much small change as we could. We figured we'd be able to get more bills in Fez or Casablanca if we needed it, but we were going to have a couple days kind of out here in remote areas. So we headed southeast out of Marrakech over the Chitka Pass, and we ended up in Aït Benhaddou. So where are we at, babe?
We're at Aït Benhaddou.
And we took the day and went over the Atlas Mountains, and there was some gorgeous snow and some crazy drivers. Actually, the road was really, really nice, except for the rock falls.
Yeah.
And
the big trucks that
the
you had to
big
pass
trucks.
on the narrow roads.
and the small towns that the big trucks were trying to get through while you were trying to get through it. It was a little crazy.
It was crazy.
But now we're at the gates of Ben Haddou. So that's where we are. So the driving here really isn't that bad. The main roads are pretty nice. You do have to be careful of rock slides and slow moving trucks. You have to be very careful when you pass, not just for oncoming cars, but there is a significant police force a lot of times, and we understand that they are more than happy to pull you over and give you tickets. So we didn't experience that, but it is known to happen. The small towns can be quite interesting.
Careful of this. Okay.
Doing my best.
Okay. Okay, we could be near. No. Cut pots. Looks like we're gonna get through here.
Not a big truck coming through.
This guy. Oh, he's waving him on.
Because he's kind of the problem here.
This guy's sticking out. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't think he was going to go that fast, but and he's back to being the problem.
stopped. Okay. Can I just tell you what a wonderful job Eric did through that? If you think the mountain passes with the rock slides and the trucks and the cow is bad, that little town passing, we're on that smaller route off of the big highway down to our lodging tonight. This little smaller, less traffic.
But the high Atlas Mountains were just beautiful with the snow-covered hills. We went over the Chichka Pass at 7,400 feet, I think. So that was just beautiful, and there was snow covering the roads in parts of the places, but the roads were really pretty good. Then we ended up in Aït Benhaddou, and this is a city that dates back to the 11th century as a fortified Kasbah, though most of the houses and buildings are around the 1700s, they think. But it was really fascinating to wander through here. They are more than happy to tell you all the movies that have been videoed and filmed here. Gladiator, Game of Thrones. Very proud of that, and that's neat. It's one of those places where you could do a movie and it would look very historic, because that's exactly what it is. After visiting Benhaddou, we had to backtrack a little bit to our Kasbah, not a riad, but a Kasbah, and it was the Kasbah Aluz, and it was a newer Kasbah in addition to an older Kasbah. And so it was just a really pretty place. I think we were the only ones there. We stayed in a little courtyard area, and the food was amazing. So probably the best food we had, I think, was at the Kasbah Aluz. We have some bubbling hot tangine.
I think I outordered him. It's my vegetarian.
I honestly don't know if this is chicken or beef or lamb, and I honestly don't care. It just looks and smells amazing. So,
Bon appetit.
bon appetit. We are here in the jazz room with all jazz musicians and some wonderful music in the background. So this is our riad for the evening, and it is the
Oh, it's a Kasbah.
Kasbah, that's right.
Kasbah Aluz.
Aluz, Kasbah Aluz. And it's quite beautiful both inside and out. So
Little sitting area.
a nice little sitting area here. So it's a good size, very cool roof. And the next morning, as we were kind of preparing to leave, we ran into just a wonderful person, and his name was Abdu, and he took us around. His father was a mamam at a mosque right beside our Kasbah. And Westerners aren't allowed in any of the mosques except for the big one in Casablanca, but this humble mosque in this small Kasbah really had a huge impact on me, and I think it was more interesting and more meaningful to have this kind man give us a tour of this mosque and it really was neat to do. And then Abdou took us down to their farm where they grow olives, obviously, and pomegranates and wheat, and that's kind of where all their food comes from. And then he took us back past his house and invited us inside, and it was just a really, really neat tour. I felt like we made a good friend. So they did the combat of gladiator here. There we are. There's my gladiator. What a great tour, huh? So after leaving our Kasbah, we headed east, and we're heading out to the Toudra Gorge, and ultimately we're going to end up spending the night in a cave room, which should be kind of fun. Welcome to sunny Morocco, right? It's the off season. It's a different way of seeing it, though. We're trying to find the hike to Monkey Fingers, which we've been told is around here someplace. But we are not going down this hill willingly. Just not happening. May not even do the hike, it's just too snowy, but we wanted to give ourselves the opportunity to do that.
So we're on a bit of an adventure right now. Snowing. And
Here in Snow Rocco.
Snow Rocco. Snow Rocco. Headed up in the Toudra Gorge. And this is the night we're staying up in here in a cave room. So if you're gonna stay in a cave, you've got to go up into the mountains. But we're really hoping that we don't get snowed in, iced in, up here, because we do need to come back out to get to the desert tomorrow.
We're happy to have this person in front of us guiding us. I think they're as lost as we are, but
Can't be lost. There's nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. Go up or go down. All part of the adventure.
adventure is here.
Here.
Doesn't even await. It is here.
Yeah.
This is where we're going. We have to go down and cross what appears to be a dry river. So here we go. So we made it. We started out over there, came up a little drive, across this dry riverbed down here. Where are we at, babe?
Oh, we're at Alberge, Les Festival.
The cave rooms.
We're staying in a cave room tonight, up
But-
in the gorge.
Yep.
Toudra Gorge.
But really,
In Snow Rocco.
Snow Rocco. This is Snow Rocco. Who'd ever thought? Anyway, let's go see our cave room.
Let's go see the room. Hello. Welcome to the cave room at Alberge La Festival
Uh-huh. And where is that?
in Toudra Gorge.
So yes, we're staying the night in the cave. It's been plastered on the walls, but it is an actual cave area. So this is our luxury suites. We've never stayed in a cave before, so this is going to be a first for us. And
It's warm in here.
it is warm in here, and there's no bathroom like a cave bathroom, is what I always say. Some of that gorgeous Moroccan tile work. And they say the water's hot, so we shall see. Oh, that is gorgeous, isn't it? That's real fossils, I think. Amazing. All right, let's spend the night in a cave.
Let's do. Good
Where we at?
morning.
Good morning.
We are in Toudra Gorge in Morocco.
And we just spent last night in our cave room.
In our cave room.
And it was really, really cool. It was an interesting drive up here yesterday because it was so snowy.
Right, very snowy. Couldn't see much coming in, and we're so glad we got here when it was still daylight, but snowy, overcast, because it would have been scarier in the dark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
getting to our La Festival, our bridge.
we actually had to go down
Yeah.
a ramp and across a dry riverbed and then up. It was quite a challenge.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
We didn't know if we'd have ice this morning when we got up, but the wind came up last night and dried the roads off, and so
Yeah.
the drive out has been really smooth, and we're down in this beautiful gorge now, and we're gonna do a little bit of hiking and exploring in here, and then we're headed down
Headed to the desert.
Headed to the desert. So we'll be spending tonight in a tent in the Sahara Desert.
The Sahara.
So we head west, and we are supposed to meet somebody who's going to take us on a 4x4 ride out to our next destination. So somehow we did not get our 4x4 ride out of Erfoud, but we were going to be ferried to this place where we were going to get the camels. So after many messages to the tour company that didn't seem to pay off, we just drove out here, and we found a nice gentleman who is going to help us out and put us on our camels and take us out here into the desert. Beautiful, huh? See if she can come down without falling. But if I say it, it will happen, and then it will be hilarious. And that will give us dozens of viewers.
Okay, can we start? Here we go.
Here we go.
Where do you want me?
First. It is first.
Oh, me first? Oh, okay.
Can we go ahead?
Just
Yeah,
leg over?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like a motorcycle. Okay. I've ridden those.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hello. Whoa. So it took us a little while, but we finally got up on our dromedaries, and these are dromedaries, not camels. They have one hump instead of two. And we spent an hour and a half or so with our herder, and he took us way out into the desert and through the dunes, and it was just beautiful. The interplay of light and shadow and the orange red of the desert. We watched the sun mostly go down, and it was amazing. And then he took us back to our tent, and we got to experience glamping in the desert.
Welcome to my tent.
Staying in a tent outside, or actually right on the edge of the Sahara.
This is a club.
Yep. Very spacious. More spacious than most tents I've been in.
And toasty.
And toasty. Very toasty. And it's the first tent I've ever been in that has its own shower and bathroom. This is not your typical...
This is not your camping out in the...
This is glamping. This is better than we are in Test the Airstream.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to a nice night in here. Yeah, you better believe all that was recorded. So in the evening, the camp host put on a show with some drums and some singing, and they got up the crowd involved in dancing, and it was a lot of fun. Was the whole experience with the dromedaries and tents a little touristy, a little bit cheesy? Yes. And would I absolutely 100% do it again? Of course I would. I mean, I love doing touristy things, and then you get up in the morning and you get to see an experience like this, which was just stunning. And we got to go out there because the gentleman who was supposed to pick us up the day before had forgotten, and so he wanted to make good. So he showed up early in the morning with his 4x4, and we did a sunrise tour out into the desert.
Oh, isn't that pretty? The colors.
Oh, that is amazing.
Beautiful when the sun brings out that orange coral. Where are you going? What are you gonna do? It always works out. That's awesome.
So after our 4x4 trip out into the desert, we had a long drive up to Fez. We knew that we had about an 8.5 hour drive. It was relatively uneventful. We just headed out of the desert and headed north and just kept on driving. Once we got to Fez, we had to park again outside of the Medina. We paid for parking, which always seems a little bit weird, but it went without a hitch. And we made it inside to our beautiful Riyadh. So we're at the Riyadh Mira in Fez. This is our room for 3 nights. We are so tired, we really haven't even looked around. So this is our first view of the restroom as well. Beautiful tile, always beautiful tile. And
Beautiful tile work.
yep. And we'll show you the atrium area, and it's awesome as well. So this is the Riyadh Myra. Here is my lovely dinner companion for the night.
Happy travelers, welcome to Fez.
The next morning we have a tour scheduled to go out and see the sights of Fez. So we went to one of the king's many palaces. I think he has 7, and we got to see several of them on this trip, and this is one of them. And then we took a drive up to one of the fortresses on the south side of the city and got an overlook of the city of Fez.
It just changes. You're just gonna get the string. Watch the string. Watch the string.
And then we got involved with what we like to term site shopping. And that's where the guide takes you to all the things you went to Fez and Morocco to see. You went to go see how they do the beautiful tile work and create the pottery. And you go there to see the tannery and the leather workers. All this is extremely fascinating. But you're brought to these places, and much like in the States, please exit through the gift shop. You have a little bit of pressure to buy something and take it home with you. And while we love seeing the craftsmen, it's fascinating to see how they do it the way they've done it for hundreds, if not thousands of years. There is that pressure to buy, always some pressure to buy, and we were susceptible to it. We bought some pottery and a beautiful leather jacket and what they call a pouf, or what we would call an ottoman. So we fell victim to some of this, but we are trying to see if Melinda wants anything here or if she wants everything here. It's definitely sight shopping. It's sightseeing, but there's definitely sight shopping. They want you to buy stuff, and that's how their economy runs. It's fine. But if you're not careful, you will walk out of there with a lot of stuff that you didn't intend to buy. So anyway, just beware of sight shopping in Morocco. It's beautiful, it's fun, and we learned a lot, but it is sight shopping. This is a leather tannery, and all this is being hand-dyed leather in various types of natural chemicals, we'll say, that smell not great. These guys are deep in it. So our first tour had been through the city of Fez, and then we had debated on whether we wanted to drive and do the next part of the tour or get a driver and do it as a tour guide. We opted for a driver, and so a nice guy took us to Volubilis, and then we went to Meknes, and it was neat. I had never seen a Roman ruin before, so I was kind of a little bit giddy and very excited about seeing all the ancient structures. The Italians probably weren't as excited about the Roman ruins as we were. So I had a good time wandering around and looking and photographing all the Roman ruins. And then we went up to the city of Meknes, and Meknes, it's just kind of a city. After a while, the beautiful doors and the markets, they have a certain sameness to it. It was interesting. I was way more interested in going to the Roman ruins, though. So it was a good day. I'm glad we didn't drive. It was kind of another rough drive through some muddy areas, and our driver was great. So after we left Fez, we did one of our most interesting drives, and we went up to Chefchaouen in the northern part. And the northern Morocco at that point was just getting pounded with rain. We didn't realize just how bad it was and would get after we left, but going up there, there were numerous rock slides and numerous road washouts, and we don't have video of some of the worst washouts, but it was pretty bad, and heavy rain. So we wandered around the Blue City for a while, and it's just very different than the other cities, Marrakech and Fez. It's got an artsy feel to it. It's just a really neat place to walk around, even if you're walking around in the rain as we did. We had planned on doing a hike up to the Spanish mosque in the city, but the heavy rains had shut down the trails, and we were afraid even if we could get up the trails, they would be extremely muddy. The small river that is known for the women washing their clothes and things in was just at full raging flood, and we had no idea how bad the damage was going to be. But after we left, we'd heard that in a town very close to here, 100,000 people had to be evacuated from their homes. It was quite intense.
We are in Chefchaouen, and we are at the famous waterfall, or at least down from it. And they have water galore this week, so it's a little crazy.
So we left Chefchaouen and had to go back over that very dangerous road. More washouts on the road. It was just intense. But we had reservations in Rabat, and we had another beautiful riad. I know they say that over and over again, but they're just amazing. Where are we at, babe?
We're in Rabat.
Are we?
Riyadh Kala.
There we are. Nice, neat place.
Very neat.
Rabat itself as a city was okay, but we could have skipped there and stayed another night in Chefchaouen and been much happier. So we left Rabat and headed a little further down southwest the coast towards the city of Casablanca. And the drive to Casablanca started out really pretty along the ocean, and then it just ended up being small towns and industrial areas of Casablanca. Casablanca is a big city. I think it's 10 million people, and I really wanted to go there before we went, and I had no interest in staying there once we got there. I kind of wanted to do the Rick's American Cafe, and that turned out to be a dud. We tried to go to the mosque in Casablanca, but we must have gotten there too late because the tours were closed, and I was getting sick. I just didn't care. There really wasn't that much to see in Casablanca, so we would go with hard pass for Casablanca if we were doing this again. We'd stayed at a kind of a no-name hotel in Casablanca, and there just wasn't that much to see, so we were not upset to leave, and we headed down west to the city of Essaouira, which was just beautiful. It has a French, European, Morocco flavor to it. There's some wonderful cafes. The shopping medinas are not nearly the cramped, stressed areas of Marrakech or Fez. It was just a really pretty town, and our riad was right on the ocean, and I mean right on the ocean. We could look down and see the Atlantic waves crashing into the wall underneath us, and it was beautiful, and we slept with the windows open, and it was just an amazing experience. All right, it is our last riad in the lovely town of Essaouira, and the view's pretty nice. Got the Atlantic Ocean crashing underneath us. So that's pretty cool. You jumping in to go for a swim? Pretty cool. They said on the ocean, they meant it.
Yeah. Pallets.
Pallet's coming home with us, huh?
So we spent 2 days in Essaouira. We enjoyed the town. We got another hammam. We're really kind of wrapping up our tour at this point. So we're really resting and enjoying the sights and sounds of Essaouira. And we would definitely go back and hang out there again, absolutely. So my take on this is I would do more time in Chefchaouen and more time in Essaouira and skip Rabat and Casablanca. So they just weren't worth it to us. In the morning, we'll drive to Marrakech again. We will return our car. I will be very happy because I've started to drive like a local. I'm sliding with the best of them. But we'll return our car. We have a night in a hotel room there, but we have a super early flight out, so we're not really going to do anything other than grab dinner, get some rest, and hop on a plane and head back to the States. We really loved Morocco. So glad we got to see it. We had such a wonderful time and met such wonderful people. That being said, is it a return to place? We don't think so. We think it's a one and done place, but it's a wonderful place, and we happily recommend it to people going and getting that whole Moroccan experience. Go to the Medinas, ride the dromedaries, enjoy Morocco because the place and the people are just fantastic.